G'day guys, so this is round 4 now of Empire Cryptocurrency Sunday session. These sessions I generally just reflect on what's happened in the previous weekend, sort of collect data from everything that's happened previously, and then try and use that information to put forward into seeing what may and may not happen in the week to come by looking at certain news, and obviously also charts and technical data. So let's hang on. John trying to get in here. I don't know why he's having trouble. Did you guys have to put a password in at all to get in?
No, mine just opened up.
John's having some troubles here. Just giving both. All right, cool. Let's just get rid of that for now. Alrighty, so we'll start off with we'll look at last week's news, right? So this week, so we want last week. Obviously, yeah, we see in Australia our cash rate went up, so we're just following America, really. We got an increase. It was exactly as expected. What happened? That's right. Powell come out and said some stuff, made the markets a little bit volatile towards the end of the week. And that sort of caused a bit of a drop in the markets. One of the things I was really waiting for was this employment data here, especially this non-farm employment change, because that generally gives a really good indication on like the general health of like the economy. But the drop that happened before was probably, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. There was some really high volatility between then and leading on to Friday, which made me believe that possibly this unemployment data had already been priced in, like negatively priced in with the previous move that happened the day before. And obviously we can look back now and see that that is essentially what happened. We've seen a sharp drop because Powell come out and said, he gave sort of not so much a we come out and he gave a statement and he was he came out half skeptical. So I guess that set some fear into the markets. So all of the stuff took a heavy hit. US dollar took a hit as well. So I was really looking at seeing some pretty high volatility with this news coming out, just purely for the fact that this is one of the key things that's really essential to watch, trying to find out when and how close we are to this recession that's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year or whatever it may be. Unemployment is one of those things where if they're increasing interest rates like they have been consecutively and they don't plan to stop anytime soon, or at least another 2 to 3 increases, they've also come out and said that they may have to keep it higher for longer as well. That puts pressure on the market. That puts pressure on people's jobs. If businesses are having to fork out too much money for jobs and that sort of thing, people get laid off. Then people don't have jobs. Then they can't pay for simple things like rent and all that other sort of stuff. And then that's when it's sort of like a domino effect. So unemployment is one of those things I was really waiting for. But as it turns out, that massive drop that we've seen, that volatile drop, it had already generally been priced in from when he gave his speech, essentially. Right. So over the weekend, we've actually seen some pretty heavy moves. Generally on weekends you don't really see much, but I'm guessing as soon as we had that sharp move down, there's been a little bit more activity this weekend, which is not usual. Usually, we hit the weekend, hit Friday, and it's pretty much sideways. Nothing. It doesn't really goes up 2%, goes down 2%, nothing until really the markets open back up. So this weekend is actually quite active. So look at next week, this week. So this week we've got quite a few things coming on. I think one of the boys has told me that I think it was can't remember now, but I think Foyley has claimed it's true as well. But FOMC have booked a emergency meeting on Monday to talk about certain bank liquidity issues, I think, which is what part of the reason what happened with the drop last week. And there was some liquidity issues with some of the big banks. So having an emergency meeting. So I'm not sure what time. It's not on here either. So we could see some pretty volatile moves within the first couple of days. As well as that, we have some more stuff that can cause some dramas. So we got CPI. We also have PPI and just retail sales. So it's looking like a pretty busy week in terms of news. So when news is like chock-a-block like this, it's kind of hard to do your analysis on a chart and try and determine what's going to happen, because if something's happening every single day, it's a lot harder to predict and what the direction it may turn. If so, we were coming down like exactly how it is now. We're right on like a critical support, which is what I'll show when I go into the charts. If there was a news event, say like Tuesday or something that you would like kind of try and predict is within the first couple of 1 to 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, you might see a little bit of a consolidation. And then by Wednesday, let's just say the news is good and you get a bullish engulfing, and then you're at a critical support, you get that indication of a candlestick, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, towards the end of the weekend and possibly to the next week, you might see some, bullish price action or whatever. But in this case, since we've got so much news every single day, it's a little bit harder to predict what's going to happen. We also have the unemployment rate for Australia, but we can pretty much guarantee that it's going to be relatively similar to what the US is going through. I think our market is a little bit better than theirs, however. But alrighty, so
it is.
Okay, what were you going to say?
I said it is.
Yeah,
I'm in the US. Yeah, nobody. I'll tell you something, man. Nobody here. People are about to get, uppercutted. They're clueless.
It's not too bad here, and I know that because we survived. Like we went through COVID pretty well, and when we opened back up, like we're in actually a shortage right now. We don't have enough people that are working. So we're scrounging around looking for as many people to work, especially in the trade industry. There's simply not enough trades getting around, especially because I'm in the building development side, like residential houses. There's just not enough of us, and it's not just my trade in particular. It's all the trades. Everywhere's looking for people. No one has enough. Like it's tough. So in that respect,
it's weird. Around, I'm in the building trades as well, and everyone needs help and stuff, but people are being unfortunately like laid off and stuff. Like the travelers and stuff, they're all gone now. And
so we haven't got to that stage yet, because we're still in that expansion period. Because in Australia, we've gotten a lot of opportunities since COVID in regards to building houses and that sort of thing, and so obviously a lot of the population has taken advantage of that, right? And they there's grants given out to building new houses, grants given out to first, buying your first house. So a lot more people are going to go out there and build and buy houses because there's grants available for them. So I think we weren't really ready for that expansion. Obviously we weren't ready because we don't have enough people to, there's not enough trades, not enough people out there that do trades that can actually keep up with the market. But it is slowing down now. It is sort of tapering off, but it's still relatively strong. Alrighty, so is anyone in any trades, or has anyone made any trades last week, the weekend?
I did a couple spot buys last week, no leverage.
Right, yeah, cool. Anyone else?
It's too volatile, so I stayed out of it.
That's fine.
I had one trade I lost on Perp USDT. So
Oh yeah. Would you go long or short?
I went long, and
Okay. We can have a look at. We'll have a look at that, and we'll see. Analyze. I'll analyze it for you.
okay.
I just realized I wasn't actually sharing my screen before, but I'll just run through this really quickly. So this is this week. We've got CPI. Like I said, we've got that emergency meeting sometime Monday. We got CPI Tuesday night. And right off the rip, Wednesday, next day, PPI as well. We also have
Jared,
the consumer sentiment on Saturday, which normally comes out every month. What was that?
just a quick question. In that Forex page, that's it's called Forex Academy again, right?
Forex Factory, yeah.
Factory, yes. So when on those, like, you can see the meetings there and stuff. Like, I've looked through there, but like when you click on them, like, is that where you read the news live as soon as it's released?
So, yeah, no, well, it depends what news it is, but it does give you a link to the right place pretty well every time, because it'll be here generally here. But since obviously this
Gotcha.
is Saturday next week, it's actually not here yet because it hasn't been released. But you look back. Yeah. Yeah, so it's usually you can tell by what link it is. So the CNBC one would be probably the one to look at, or a .gov. But these are generally written by economists. So yeah, it's generally like they I'm not going to say they have a bias, but you know, sometimes they do. But yeah, so this is where I look at the data here. Alrighty, so if you've seen my chart on Friday, you'd already know what this looks like because it's exactly the same. Haven't really done much. Got rid of some of the writing. That's about it. We're sitting right on this 618 level here. So this I'm going to delete this because I'm not. That's everyone knows that how Fibonacci works. 618 is a strong level, so it is a time to consider entering a trade. The only thing I do not like about that particular setup is we broke out of this downtrend with a lot of momentum, a lot of volume, a lot of momentum, pushed us out. We held here for a little bit, pushed back up, and now we're coming back down to the 618. Pushing out, if this is the first move, so if we're going to draw, if this is going to be the trend line, let's just draw it here from here. This is going to be the first to the trend line to, you know, keep moving up, making higher highs and higher lows. Generally, the first move out of the first move in the change of a pattern is usually a strong move, and it is held strong. Generally, it holds in like the 382 or as low as the 50. But if it comes all the way back to the 618, that's telling me that there's not as much momentum in the move as I initially had anticipated from this massive move pushing out of this downtrend here. If we hold here, I'm not saying that we're not going to make a higher high. We still could. I'm just saying I would have preferred to, you know, float around that 382 or 50%. That would give me a lot more confirmation that this is a new trend starting and we're going to head up, you know, medium term. So let's just say, let's just get rid of this. Get rid of that for now. So where was the 50? Yeah, so if we held this little zone in between here, the 382 and the 50, and then we pushed off instead of coming all the way down to the 618, I would have been a little bit more inclined to consider this an official change in trend. It is, we are out of the trend like for now, but we really need to hold this 618 level on Bitcoin. But that's just quickly on Bitcoin. I'm going to go over to the S&P 500. So if you have watched my previous calls or watched any of the clips on my YouTube, you would have realized that this chart has not changed a single bit. We watched this break out here, and we were waiting for it to come back down to test these levels here, these same levels here, and we did. So I think, when was this? Yeah, so we were right up the top here, I think. Yeah, we were right here last week, and when I made that call, right here. And it was actually looking really good, like actually pretty good, because we had this trend here that was looking like it was being respected. We had a level that was previously tested. We pushed back above that level and we were sitting above it. But since then, since that news come out, we've actually come back down, and now we're actually breaking down below this crucial level here. It's a bit of an EQ because it's price really likes to stick to these levels, as you can see through out here, taps everywhere. So it's a really crucial level. That's 3,900. So, and that would actually, obviously you can see it here, that would put us back in this downtrend here. So that's not a good sign. If we close, especially if we close 3,900 and stay below 3,900, that's really bearish for me. That's like probably going to tell me that we're at least going to come back down to this lower EQ down here, and see what the interaction is down at that level. I was going to a couple more. I was going to look at gold. So I think I went into this last time as well. I was looking at this very strong move on the daily to hold up at a higher fib level, which is what it did. It held up at the 382 here, and it's looking like it may come back up. This is not like a official line or anything. This is just my anticipation. It might come up and bounce here and come back down, but it looks like it's pushed off this 382 level, which looks good for gold. But given all the events that's happened, that's generally what happens with gold. So this is very interesting. Yields have finally come down. So does anyone know the correlation between all these markets? Because if you're not too sure about the relations here, I won't actually go into detail because it might be a little bit too confusing for you. And I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. I'm gonna skip yields. Just because I want it to be as simple as possible that anyone can just come on and watch. If you want to know more about that sort of stuff, we're doing content on that. So yeah, just hang in there. Bitcoin dominance. I haven't actually looked at this in a little while. It's looking like it's making like a sort of flag on the daily. So it's still got strength, which is so Bitcoin's still got strength over the alt markets, which is what it's telling me here. And as you could have seen, when we rise up like this in Bitcoin dominance, generally what happens is if we're moving positively on Bitcoin, so if we're moving up on Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's increasing in price, and we're also increasing in dominance, generally you'll see the alts, maybe one or two alts might like fly off and do their own thing, but as a consensus, the market, like altcoin market, generally will just float around that same sort of price, because while Bitcoin is going up and the USD value of your coin is essentially going up, your altcoin against Bitcoin Satoshi value is actually going down. So if your USD value is going up and it's decreasing by the same amount in Bitcoin against Bitcoin, then you're going to have that sort of like, it just sort of just cancels each other out type thing. And it would like, that's when you see when Bitcoin makes a massive move and Bitcoin dominance makes a massive move as well, most like a lot of altcoins will just sit on the same price. They won't move at all, and that's usually the worst time to be trading altcoins because realistically, if Bitcoin dominance is increasing and Bitcoin is increasing in price or decreasing in price, so long as if this Bitcoin dominance is going up, you just want to trade Bitcoin against Bitcoin because it makes it a lot harder to translate the altcoin charts and the alt BTC charts and the three charts together, where you could just trade Bitcoin and try and get the same, same results, except you're not having to do extra work, extra analysis, and then still have to be a little bit lucky too. Right. So another thing we were waiting for was the Dixie. So this is, like I said, the Dixie really took a hit from that solvency issue had with the one of the banks. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that was last week. Also, I want to show a chart, a chart that I trade that I'm still in, that I put in the chat. I actually got into this twice now, same trade twice. And I'm going to show you why I'm still in it, and I'm just going to talk about it a little bit, just to give you guys a little bit more, like to try and see how I think and see how, I'm analyzing this, and try and see if you can like take it in and, use it yourself for your trades. So this is FTM, right? So I traded this horseshoe initially. This is probably, I can't remember now. Last month. Started last month. Or start of this month. March. Yeah, start of this month. So I initially wanted to trade the horseshoe, and then I was going to see what happens when we get back to the end of this level here, because when we trade horseshoes, generally, like depending on what if it's going up, price is going up or down, but you're essentially anticipating the potential of a double bottom or a double top, which is exactly what happened here, which is why whenever you trade a horseshoe like this, so you come down, tapers off, comes down, that's why you target these levels here when you're shorting, which is what I did. Like I took out 50% there, and then when we come back up, I'll zoom in and I'll show you what I was looking at on the 1 hour, but I found another entry and I got back in essentially. But I put this one in the chat and then I put it in again when I got in again, but we'll look at the 1 hour. So I'm just gonna, actually, I'll just get this off the screen so it's easy to see. So has anyone got any ideas on why I might have entered this trade again at this? Hang on, let me get this. So can anyone give me any examples of why I got in back into this trade at this level here?
Virgin.
It's a little tough to me because I'm using my phone, but is that a hanging man or a doji up there at resistance?
It's a inverted hammer or shooting star or whatever you want to call it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else?
You also got divergence there.
Yep, spot on. Yep, definitely. Price divergence. We were making high highs here. I'll put it on the line chart so you can see. High highs here, low highs on the momentum. Yep. And
the 200 MA, EMA, that's bouncing off also.
on the what, sorry?
The 200 EMA, is that the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it rejected the 200 or just shy of it. And as I said before, this level was a really solid level. I was watching the interaction here, and after I seen it was this that candle there, that red candle, that hammer, that's exactly where I got in. that one there. I've seen a large hammer here, a lot of selling pressure. Same thing again, a lot of selling pressure. That was when I was like, okay, I'm going to enter. I had my confirmations. And then after I seen this next red candle here, so we didn't close back above that level. We didn't close any higher than where that shooting star is. And then we also closed like a red engulfing like that. That's when I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. And then that's when I sort of just forgot about it. And then obviously you can see it's just completely fell out. So I had, let's look at the 4 hour. I had this level as a watch. And because of that, the reason why I had it as a watch is it got tested as resistance, and then it sort of got tagged again here as support. But it was more or less just a sort of like a move, like an Elliott wave type thing. And I was waiting for it to see what this interaction here at this level was. And as you can see, we did float around there for a little bit, and I wasn't convinced that this level was going to hold just purely from looking at the price action. If we had a float around here for a little bit longer and then like maybe bullish engulfing, or you know, closed up around this level here, then I may have looked at either exiting the position depending on what was going on in the time at the time of the market news and that sort of thing, or at least take profits in a portion of it. But after seeing, you know, watching this stuff unfold, I wasn't convinced that it was going to hold, because the price action I was seeing did not look like it was going to give that bounce that I was you know, expecting that it could happen. So I left it, and obviously, yeah, we've come down again now. Still, same thing. I haven't seen a reason for me to exit as yet. We're still showing signs of like weakness. We're still making lower lows. We haven't made a higher high yet. There's no reason for me to exit just yet. So I think it's like 500% or something. I don't know, yeah. But
Nice trade.
yeah, so that's at the moment it's about a 6-to-1. If it finishes, it'll be an 8-to-1. So yeah, excellent trade. Very good. Alrighty.
Sorry, Jared. Just to back up on that one. When you
Sure.
say horseshoe, is that the pattern before?
It's just
What
one
do you
out.
mean by the
This
horseshoe?
is what I initially traded. That.
Oh, okay. Right.
And I took profits at like I took some profits at this level, and then I waited for it to come back up, which it did. And then that's when I was watching the lower time frame, because I was obviously still in the position, watching it on the smaller time frames to see that if we broke back above this key level here, because if we did, A, I wouldn't have entered the short, obviously, and B, I would have exited my position like the last half of my position early to save some of my losses there. You understand? So I like this chart just because of the levels were so easily identifiable, which is why I was more inclined to watch that chart on a smaller time scale. So on the 1 hour, like I said. And like I said before, I wasn't just looking for a short. I was actually looking at potentially exiting the last of my position a little bit earlier to save some of my capital that I've got on the trade. Saying that, you know, I got what I seen what I saw, seen the shooting star divergence. I was like, cool, this is looking really weak where it is right now, given where the volume, like tapering off volume at coming up to back up to resistance. Shooting star, cool. I'm going to stay in the trade, and I'm also going to double down. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Makes.
But yeah, so that's what a horseshoe is there. Exactly that. You have like a trending market, so we're trending down at this point, but we have a sharp smash through resistance. We have a rise, and then we just have flat. And then once you see that, and if you go on this on the 1 hour, you see like a lot of wicks going up, and we were actually like coming down a little bit as well. So that's just saying that like there's no volume. It's getting volatile at this level, and obviously you can see that there wasn't enough buyers there to push through that final level. We come back down, and obviously it's clear as day, divergence. You got the hammer there. I'm back in. Now, you said earlier that you were in a trade and you like lost a trade, was it? And on
Yes.
what was it called?
Perp.
I might
Perp
have to
USDT.
open this one. Oh, it's right there. Hold on. Per this one, per.
Yep.
No, it'll be this one here.
Uh,
Okay. What even is this? It's actually done all right, considering.
What's the
Actually-
perp? Is that a coin?
Asking the wrong person, I assume so. Yeah, I guess. I don't think I've really even heard of perp. I think I've heard of it a few times. But I mean, it's trending up. So, right, it's trending up on the daily. I'm not saying that it's most likely trending down on the 4 hour, but
yeah, I got in.
so what were you trading on 1 hour, 4 hour? What were you looking at?
Would have been the one hour. Yeah, it was one. It was just a small. Yeah, probably the 1 hour.
So, fuck if they have it.
I think I'm on. I'm not on the perp contract. I'm on the just the perp USDT. Just the
It should be relatively the same, but
Oh, okay.
should be relatively the same.
So what is it? I thought there was a bullish pennant. At the that's just passed.
Just give me a date. Are you looking on the 4 hour?
I'm looking at the 1 hour and
So-
the day I got in on the trade at Thursday the 9th of March.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I can see it. I think I know what you're looking at. This here.
Thursday, yes. Yep.
All right. So, and what did you long or short?
I longed there. It went up a little bit and then it just went straight down and stopped me out.
Can't really see a pennant, to be honest. How are you drawing your pennant? Because if we're trending down and you see a pennant, generally that's going to be a bear pennant, right? So you should have been looking for shorting opportunities. Unless, yeah, okay.
Sorry, I think I thought it was gonna come back up and then come back down. So I was trying to get two trades. I was trying to get a long and then a
okay.
short.
I mean, that's not the dumbest thing to do. Like I hedge like that, not often, but I do it. It's a decent idea. There's one trade, not even that long ago. What was it? It was on their last call. Like I showed it on their last call.
Neo?
Yeah, Neo. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, yeah. You could have just done both on that as well, and you would have been, you would have made money on both. I missed the short, but I got the long, closed the long a little bit early, around entry, and then got back in the short because it broke down the short. But you know, it's just all. If a chart looks good, just keep using it. Like if the levels are being respected really well, then and like the chart is clean, just keep using it. Like I like charts like that FTM one. Like if they keep making key levels and like easy easy identifiable levels like that, I'm just gonna keep trading FTM. Because, you know, like, but it might not, you might not be the same, you know, like you might not think that it lines up perfectly as I do. So you just gotta go out there and like find your own coins, you know. But yeah, I can't really see a pennant here. Really. Well, I'm guessing you were so what I would be looking at is probably just draw a box might be easier. Like that, something like that. Waiting for a break below this block here. We didn't get a retest. We got, even then, that's a bit too late now anyway. It was probably too volatile for me to even, for me personally, to even like consider it a trade. Unless we come back up to this level here at one point. And then I would look for a short or wait for it to break above. But at this level now, it's looking like it's going to be, it wants to do a descending triangle. So it might even end up doing something like this. So let me just go. I don't really like the 1 hour. That's not too bad. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I would be looking at. It's starting to shape up to be a descending triangle. Obviously this is the weekend, so I'd probably wait for maybe Monday and Tuesday. A little tip for when you're trying to anticipate time as well, you know, when to come back and look at it, is to just draw it in, right? So you can see just by looking at this, yeah, bounce, 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 maybe come back down to here, to this level, and get a bounce maybe. So when are we talking now? We're talking tonight at 10 o'clock. So come back tonight at 10 o'clock, see what happens at this level here. We might, let's say we get another touch on this trend line here and come back up. Okay, so now what are we talking? Monday morning. Okay, cool. And if you don't enter the trade then at this touch here, wait for this break down below. So let's just say we come down here, something like that. So now what are we talking? Monday night, and then we come back up Monday, Tuesday. Let's just say Monday, Tuesday, and then that's when we get that. You know, we might draw, you know, let's just say we draw fibs here. That looks like a 618. We get the morning star, yeah, the evening star, hammer again, or whatever. Enter the trade to come back down to, let's just say, this support here. So that's just one way to anticipate when you might be coming back to look at a chart. And I like doing that because I don't want to be looking, like, I do like charting and I do like looking at charts, but I don't want to be doing it, you know, all the time. I just want to come on, quick scan through, and then just leave it at that. Set my alarms, set alerts for times and stuff as well. Come back and check. It might be that, like, let's just say this happens and we're at Monday morning. I'm going to wake up for work tomorrow in the morning. Let's just say 6 o'clock. And by 6 o'clock, we might be here, coming back down to this level here. Cool, I'm going to be up at that time. I'm going to have a look. Maybe by lunchtime tomorrow, when I'm on Smoko, I'll have a look. If we've broken down, all right, cool, we broke down. Now we're down here, or whatever, like wherever we may be. Okay, cool. I'm going to look at it tonight. Look at it like Monday night. Look at it Monday night. We're back up to this level again, 7 o'clock. I'm going to consider entering a trade. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
That's one way I like to. You're trying, not so much you're trying to predict the future, but you're trying to save yourself some time too. So you're not having to look at the, you know, come on and look at the perp chart every few hours or whatever, just in case, like, you know, maybe something like this happens. You go up. I wake up Monday morning. Okay, cool. That, you know, my descending triangle is not even, it's invalid now. Cool. I'm not looking at that trade anymore. You know, and then just completely remove it. Whereas if you were like checking it every few hours, it's just all that time, you know, like, and it broke out anyway, so it's all a waste, you know. So it just saves a lot of time, and I like it because Because when it does play out exactly how you've done it, like it does it does feel pretty cool. Has anyone got any other coins they want me to look at?
Can you look at Soul? Yeah,
So yes.
just
What have we got here? Got some drawings on here. Jesus. Yeah, doesn't look. Yeah. Doesn't look healthy. Looks like we've lost some pretty crucial levels. That's Elliott Waves right there.
My buddy
pretty-
Mike, I got him in the group. He joined, signed up. He got his first trade on his own without any help on Solana last week. I think somebody mentioned it or whatever, but he got in the trade on his own. He made like 300 and something %. So that was pretty cool to see him do that.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome.
Also,
Yeah.
just a quick thing. My buddy just posted me, and I guess there's Elon Musk just said he's open to the idea of buying SVB,
Buying what?
buying the Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah. I mean,
Who knows?
he at this stage he's just gonna buy anything, honestly. If he could buy Fed, he'd buy the Fed. I reckon he probably would. But yeah, I mean that's interesting. I doubt that that would actually happen just because the implications. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit, yeah. I think it's just like a boast. Him boasting, oh, I'm just gonna buy one of the biggest banks in the world. I mean, yeah, Sol for me. The 1 hour is just, if I'm trading anything on the 1 hour, it's gonna be risky because we're trending down, and any move up right now is really, to me, just going to be a rally into a rally into a resistance and then a continuation back down. So realistically I want to trade that the top of the rally for the continuation back down. So this is what I'm seeing right now. So we had a level that was tested a bunch of times here. It made a little bit of an EQ. There was quite a lot of volume going on here. So it made a decent support there, and it is around that whole number there at $20. So it makes sense there. It's looking like we might see, something like a flag here possibly come up to this level. That's when we might get, divergence here somewhere. So that's something to look out for. But I'm not even going to go on the 1 hour because I know what it's going to look like, and I'm not going to like it. But for the 4 hour, that's what I would look at. I'll actually just draw it in and anticipate it. Something like this. And I'll keep it. Something like this. Head and shoulders, something like that. I don't know. I'll save that. But that's what I would be looking at, and obviously I would look at shorting. Depending on what candlesticks I get there, depends on where my stop loss would be, and what I would realistically be targeting probably this level here. Just because it was the previous level tested. We got a wick here, but we still haven't collected some of the orders that were obviously have been sitting down here. So I may even just do that. Something like that. Cut it a little bit short. Even then, still a 3.4. So, but like I said, I drew this in roughly. So we're talking. What are we talking? Wednesday, so midweek next week. Come back and look at this chart. So cool. Awesome. Save that. Done. Anything else? Anyone else?
thanks.
What was that?
Do you look at OP?
Yeah, cheers. OP. Is that what it's called? OP. That's it?
Yeah. It's the one
Sure.
Sammy's been raving on about.
Sure. Let's just go to the futures. Trade the futures, I think. I don't even know what this even is. What is it? Okay. Oh, it's relatively new on OKX, or maybe it's new on everything. I'm not really sure. It is a little bit too new for my liking, but we'll see. It's got, if this is a trend to be considered, I don't, when does anyone actually know when this thing come out? Like OP actually got released, went to market,
Nope.
or is this just when it got to okay? Yeah, if this trend has more data back here and more a little bit like more touches, I would probably actually consider this. You might say that there's 3 touches here, and yes, you're right. There is 3 touches there, so it is a it is a trend. However, it's not long enough for me. Like the coin hasn't been long enough. I guess it's really up to you, but for me, I wouldn't really consider this. But if we get down to this level, I'd watch the interaction there and maybe considering getting an entry there. But I don't like trading coins that are so new like this. But obviously, if you look at it from an investing point of view, so if you would look at buying, let's just say buying at this level here and holding for 3 years, 5 years, whatever it may be, then yeah, it might be actually a good idea. It mightn't be that bad of an idea. But if you're trading into trade futures, like for me personally, there's not enough data on the chart. But it's obviously it's made a massive run. It's just like a perfect symmetrical triangle. Almost. So really I would be watching this level here. That looks like a 618 too, so where did the move really start from? It's at the 618 now. From the initial move, but from the that's where I would do it from. Because this was a impulsive move. Fibs loves impulsive moves. That's where I would draw my fibs. This was an impulsive move because it made a new higher high. So start here, finish here. So we're at the 618 now. The 786 is actually lined up perfectly with this level down here. The 786 is still considered a highly crucial level because you can come down all the way down to the 786 and then bounce back up and continue in the uptrend. But that is generally saying to me that it's not as healthy, in this uptrend. And it also says if you break below this 786 here, generally that is not a good sign. That's pretty much saying that the uptrend is possibly over. It is over, and you can see that in this instance here, because what that would do is that would actually make a you would actually come lower than this previous top here. So that would be a good sign to start with, and then coming lower than this level here is not a good sign. So you got 2 bits of confluence there. But we're at the 618 now, exactly the same as BTC. So this might not be the worst trade here. Watching this level here, it is floating around this top level of this where we were at this triangle in the golden pocket between 50 and the 618. Obviously, it's still well early to try and determine what's going to happen because we've only really just got to this level. I need to see a few more touches. Don't really want too many closes below the 618, and then I need to see positive candlestick formations for me to consider entry. But we are at the 618, which is good. It is the sign. It is a zone of a possible bounce, and also it's the same as Bitcoin as well. So you're just putting 2 and 2 together there. Anyone got
Yeah,
any
right.
more?
Yeah,
Awesome.
I was looking at STX. It's sitting at a similar 618 level right now as well in the daily.
Let me just put this in here so I can actually come back. What was the other one again? OP, and what was the one I did before?
Sol, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, hey Jay, I just wanted to thank you. I gotta fly. I got some things to do. Have a
Oh,
good
good,
night,
mate.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. See ya.
Good luck. Good luck, everybody, this week.
Yeah, you too, mate.
That's right.
Alrighty, so I'll do one more and then I'll wrap her up. And then I'll do one more of yours and then I'll show you one of mine that I haven't done any analysis on yet. I found it I found it at the very start when these guys were watching Metallica. So anyone got us another coin for you to look at?
Yeah, STX,
What was it?
STX.
I was like FTX. I was like, pretty sure they don't exist anymore.
We're going, boys.
STX. Where is that? Oh, they have. What is this? Is this Stacks? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
How do I know? I'm actually fundamental king. No, that's a lie. Definitely not. I don't even know what ETH does, to be honest.
Is there a difference with perpetual swap and Tether USD? It's like when you choose what to chart.
yes and no. So if you're looking at buying the physical coin with USDT, then you want to look at that. Generally, it's going to be the same. Yes, it is going to be the same. But if you're trading futures, so you can look at if you want to buy the physical coin, you can look at either or. Because generally, if you're buying a physical coin, if you're not trading it and you're investing it, then that price, whatever price fluctuation it is, it's usually like nothing. Isn't going to matter to you 3 years later or whatever. But if you're looking at lower time frames, so like within the hour or even 15 minutes, there will actually be a little bit of a variation in between the two.
Okay.
Looking at so if you're trading futures, you want to look at the right chart. So you can look at the per futures chart.
Thanks.
So since this coin is obviously new, I think this is not a new coin. I think it's just recently come to OKX,
yeah,
right?
that's a new listing on OKX.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
So, like I said before,
I've been trading it on
previously-
Binance, that's why.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, I'm happy with that. Let's just get rid of. Just go this. Oh, it's the same. Wait. Is it actually new? I thought it was. I was gonna say this was. Okay. All right. Well, it actually looks a lot different. This zone now has turned into a bit of an EQ. There was a lot of buying pressure here, which is obviously what we've seen here. So I wouldn't say this, but it is a level. So we pushed out, we smashed through we got into a rocket, come back down. We obviously found a key level that people were happy to buy. We didn't wick down, so we had that sharp drop down. There must have been buyers here for whatever reason. And then we actually pushed back up and started making higher highs again. We had a bit of a slowdown here, but then we continued up. Then, so if you look here, there was a lot of buyers here, right? You can visually see that because it was a wick. It spiked down, turned into a wick. We pushed all the way back up. That's what this is right here. That's cleaning up the last orders that were there. We didn't wick straight back up like we did here, which means there wasn't as many orders, but there was still orders there because we come in, picked up a few orders, came back up, and then come back down again. Picked up a few orders, and now we're back above this level. So for me, I'd be watching, possibly even possibly even a break back below this this white line here would not be a good sign to see, because that is essentially saying that the continuation in the downtrend is going to persist. At the moment, it looks like we've made a lower high, so the next step is lower low, keep going down.
Yeah, it looks like there's a
so-
little bit of divergence there too.
A little bit. So maybe it's something like this. Something like that. So yeah, if we break this little trend here that we've got going, break this support level, or like I said, it's not really a support. It just, you can visually see where these buyers were previously, and they've just got all eaten up. Literally stopped exactly where the wick was, so you can see that. Let's draw that out for them. Where it come to was exactly where that wick was. So there must have been orders, like, you know, there would have been orders. Where's my little thing? Like here, all the way down. And then it wicked out, and then it come all the way back up, and then there would have been this same again. But maybe it was maybe it was something like this, right? Because we come back down, push back up, come back down, and then pushed out. So there wasn't as many orders as previous here. But yeah, for me, I would wait on that this level here to either hold or fall through. Alrighty, so I'll fly through one of my last one, and then I'll wrap it up. So this is the one I was looking at, XLM. So I was looking at this around the same time as I got into FTM, just because I like how the levels were being respected. We can keep going back, it's all the same. The levels are being respected, which is what I like to see. It was a bit of it turned into a little bit of a zone. A lot of trading happened here. I almost took EQ purely for the fact that the volume was increasing a lot at this level here. That means a lot of people are buying, a lot of people were selling right at this level here. That's generally an indication that it's an EQ. So for me, I'm gonna wait until it is looking like we've seen a double bottom. So let's just I don't really like this trend. It's too much, like it's too sloped down too much, but let's just get rid of this. Let's go and look on the 1 hour. So you might be able to see that double bottom a little bit. Yeah, there's a double bottom because it wicked down. Right, so if we're going to consider this a double bottom, what we want to see is come up, and we want to come back down, and we want to test this neckline here. And we test it with, you know, bullish candlesticks, whatever, pick one, choose one, whatever it is. And then you want to see it come back up to this level and see the interaction that happens here. That is when I'll likely consider entering a short, because on the 4 hour is what I would most likely trade it on. I'm just looking at this as a 1 hour and trying to anticipate what might happen. So as my examples previously, do the same thing. Let's just assume that this is what happens. We come down here, we test, we come, Jesus Christ, what happened there? Come back up. So we're talking Monday, around Monday. So I'm going to check the charts again Monday afternoon, and then again maybe Monday night for, I think, the Sol, maybe. And you know, see what happens there. So let's just get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. And then, so this is what the trade would look like. Like that. I would wait on whatever candlesticks I get. And I would turn this level into a, same as before, turn that into a watch, just because that's where we stopped. That's where we literally double bottomed. But I would look at targeting our low levels down here. So if we do manage to get that, I can't really give you an accurate risk to reward because I don't really know what candlesticks I'm going to get here. But it's around about a 4. Well, let's just do 4% because 4% is usually like 10x leverage. So around a 3. So that's still pretty good. Does anyone have any questions about this? No. Okay. Alrighty, well, that is everything that I wanted to show today for this session. I'm going to be doing, I'm not sure about next week actually, because we've got a lot of stuff happening in the next couple of weeks. I'll have to update the group later on, but I'll say yes, that next week's session is going to happen, but yeah, I'm not. It may not happen. There's a slight chance it may not happen, just because some stuff that's going on, and I'm going to be helping the team out. So, but yeah, let's just say it's going to happen. I'll try and do my best to come back with another Sunday session for you guys. Alrighty, team. Well, thanks for that.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks, Jared.
Thanks,
Thanks.
dude.
Cheers, fellas. See you.
See ya.